and very aggressively. I couldn't see what she was carving.
Her friends were kind of freaking out too when they saw that. So it wasn't like a dare or anything. Like she just kind of flipped right there, didn't she? When I was young, I was always pretty fascinated by the Exorcist movie and movies like it. Since then, I've watched a couple of other movies that dealt with possessions, like the one that I think it was The Possession of Emily Rose was one of the more recent ones that I watched. And it just, those kind of movies just throw me for a loop because it contains the context of something unexplainable and terrible happening to someone that you love or know. So I can't imagine seeing things happen to an individual that you love. And I know something that we experience in our lives is when people get dementia. And that's kind of how I relate it. If it would be a possession of some sort, if someone were to actually get possessed by a demon or a spirit or anything like that, what you would see is a transformation with them over time to the point to where they weren't the same person that you remember, or there were parts of them that were so different about them that it wasn't like you used to know them. You know, especially if you haven't seen them for a little while. You see people with dementia forgetting a bunch of things about their life, a bunch of details about their life. And I think that's how possession kind of is too, because there's literally a different being that's taken over the person that you know. When they talk, when they speak, their actions, the way they think, and the things that they tell you are completely different than the people that would normally tell you that, even though they look the same. They may even sound different. So stories of possession just kind of makes it my emotions fire on all cylinders, because it can be so personal to you. Like if you saw one of your family members this happening to or whatever, and it's always like it's usually some very disturbing stuff that happens in these movies. So anytime I see a possession type story or movie, I'm kind of intrigued by it. I want to see what happens because I think it's going to be a good story. I think this one's going to be a good one too. It's by Wansee Entertainment. We're going to react to it today. Make sure to head on over to his channel and to subscribe, guys. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the animation.
This happened to me when I was around 14 years old.
Okay.
I was at a sort of religious class located far from our main school building.
Right.
I was drawing my cartoon characters, waiting for my teacher. However, an hour had passed and he didn't come. One of my classmates went out to see what was wrong, and it turned out that our teacher didn't arrive yet. So we had to wait a bit longer.
Weird.
After she told us that information, we continued waiting. I started drawing again until one of my friends, Aina, suddenly pulled on my sleeve and whispered, "Something is wrong with CT." I looked at CT, who was sitting at the back with the loud group. She wasn't saying anything or laughing. Well, it was quite weird.
She looks like she aged. She doesn't look the same age as anybody in that group, like she got withered or old.
Seeing her like that, because she was the one who always talked a lot in that group. And then I saw that she was holding a small piece of black cardboard and a pocket knife. Since we had an art class that day, I thought that she might have been doing her homework at first, but I froze when I glanced at her the second time. She started carving something on the cardboard, and very aggressively. I couldn't see what she was carving, but she then woke up, went outside of the classroom, and stood there staring at something.
Her friends were kind of freaking out too when they saw that. So it wasn't like a dare or anything. Like she just kind of flipped right there, didn't she?
Aina poked my shoulder, signaling that I should check out CT's cardboard. So I sneakily went to her seat to grab the piece of cardboard she left on the table and went back to my seat. As soon as we flipped the cardboard over, we got goosebumps all over our bodies.
What was it?
Something was written on it. The words meant we didn't disturb them, they disturb us, in our language.
Weird, dude. That right there kind of gave me the creeps too. You know, anytime there's other languages that are associated with like disturbing messages or whatever, it just adds like that much more creep. Like when Greek, for instance, when people write stuff in Greek on those old horror movies and stuff like that, it would freak me out, man.
Aina and I looked at each other. When I got up to return the piece of cardboard, CT was already in her seat and stared at me with a scrutinizing look on her face.
Okay.
I sat down and slid the piece of cardboard under my desk.
Oops.
All of a sudden, I had the sudden urge to know what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
So I got up and went towards her with Aina. "Hey, CT, how's it going?" I asked. But she didn't answer my question. Then I could hear Aina whispering the Lord's Prayer, and my fear alarm started buzzing again.
Uh-oh.
Then Aina tried to talk to CT, but for some reason, she suddenly shuddered. And I knew the reason. CT started to mumble the exact words that she had carved onto the cardboard.
Oh,
but
damn.
this time, her voice changed.
It was deeper?
She sounded like a demon.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, I could feel it. I could feel how scary this might be. Multiple voices, when little girls talk in deep voices, all this stuff in horror movies, it really does it to me, man. It just really does it to me. That is some scary-ish, man. All of a sudden, you hear a little, like, somebody that normally talks like this, and then they start talking like this. Nope. Bye. Bye. Call the priest.
Her voice was deeper and lower than a man's, and her eyes simultaneously started to turn white.
Oh, no.
Her mumbling was getting louder, and now she began to scream while shaking her whole body. Everybody in the class stood on their seats and watched what CT was doing.
And it's not just them thinking that this is going on. The whole class is freaking out. So, even if you don't believe in possessions, something has literally snapped in this girl's mind, okay? And she is doing some crazy stuff that's completely out of character, all creepy. So, if it ain't staged, it's a possession of some sort.
With fear. Before long, CT suddenly stopped, dropped her face slowly down on the desk, and began to sleep. I quickly returned to my seat and tried to take out the cardboard.
It was
but
gone?
It was not there.
Uh-oh.
I searched all over the classroom, even inside of the bin, but it was gone. The next morning, I went to CT and asked her what she was doing in class yesterday.
It was fine.
And she replied, "Oh, I was sleeping during the whole class." "You sure?" I asked again.
Wow.
But she said yes, nodding her head. Was my friend possessed? Could it be real? And what she told me next made my face turn white.
What?
And my heart drop.
What?
Oh yeah. While I was sleeping yesterday, I was at some church, and I saw a very beautiful stained glass window with a nun. I wonder who that nun was, though.
So she dreamt? She dreamt that? That's weird, dude. That is so weird. It's almost like she thought that she was just having a dream, but it was technically... I wonder if that's how possession works. If that's how the demon kind of fools you. Because in some cases, like, you see people, they know what's going on. Like, they fight it. You know what I mean? They'll fight it, and you'll hear their regular voice for a minute, like when people reach them, and then the demon takes over again and stuff. Such a crazy freaking story. But I can't imagine that happening, man. It's got to be the most unnerving thing to see somebody that you care about kind of freak out like that. It's a great story, all in all, though. Make sure to check out Wansee Entertainment, guys. He's got great stories and great animations on this channel, and a couple other videos that I reacted to from Wansee Entertainment here. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Break it down.